Hello, I'm John Loupos, Director of Somatics and of Martial Arts for OneVirtualHealth.com. I'm duly certified as a Somatic educator and as a certified somatic educator. I want to welcome you to this video on demand series featuring Somatic movement patterns. In this educational series, I will guide you in various somatic movements to help you reclaim ownership of your own body. But first, some background on what Somatics is and is not. Somatic education, or somatics for short, is an amazing personal wellness modality. While similar in some respects to other mind-body approaches, somatics also has some unique features not available in other health practices. Somatics can help you both relieve and prevent neuromuscular pain and stiffness. It can increase your range of motion and enhance your neuromuscular intelligence for better balance and coordination. Somatics can also lower your naturally occurring stress levels, enabling you to experience a more integrated sense of mind and body, a more integrated you. Somatics can be experienced at two distinct levels. In a clinical setting, qualified practitioners see clients one-on-one. Somatics also has a broad selection of movement patterns that are appropriate for group classes as well as video format. Before we begin with guidance, I'd like to share a few opening remarks to help you get the most from your practice. These remarks beg your attention because how you practice somatics is every bit as important as what you practice. As mentioned, somatics contains unique features that distinguish it in a very fundamental way from other movement and fitness disciplines. Somatics is not about toning or strengthening your muscles or about getting your heart rate up. It is about learning to use your brain to gain a more intelligent control of your own body. Achieving the desired results with somatics requires that you coordinate the focus and intention of the thinking part of your brain with how you move your muscles. I will occasionally introduce words or phrases from the world of brain science that may be unfamiliar, but don't worry, you won't have to be a brain scientist to learn somatics. I will explain each of these technical terms in plain and simple language. Your brain is amazing. Whether you are young or old, you can always use your brain to control your body in a better way. I will teach you how to do this with simple patterns based on the following 4 rules. 1. Practice mindfully. 2. Practice slowly. 3. Practice daily. And 4. Always stay within your own limits of comfortable movement, meaning no straining or undue exertion. All somatic movements should be mindful. Being mindful merely means paying close attention to your personal process. A mindful approach will help to ensure that your body is doing exactly as your brain intends, and that your brain in turn stays attuned to your body. Mindful movement is the means by which you can restore muscular control to cortical oversight. Cortical oversight refers to the role of the thinking or executive part of your brain. Cortical control means you get a smarter body with less pain and stiffness. One very important part of mindful movement is slowness. The slower you move, the easier it will be to continually notice what your body is experiencing, so you can move deliberately and with precision. One's ability for precise and deliberate movement is exactly what most people lose as they grow older. The decline in motor control, motor in this case meaning muscle, is usually attributed to just getting older. Progressive loss of motor control is usually accompanied by pain and stiffness and reduced agility. Loss of precise motor control is an unhealthy and maladaptive response to life's various stressors. Somatics will teach you that many maladaptive patterns can be unlearned simply by using the focus and intention of your cortical brain to move your body according to slow and deliberate and fairly simple patterns. Many people report noticing improvements in how they feel right away following their very first practice at Somatics. Even if you feel rapid results, your greatest benefits will likely accrue steadily over time with regular practice. You'll feel continued results over a period of weeks or months as your nervous system gradually rewires itself for better muscular control. The most important key to success with Somatics is to work with your body. The usual cultural imperative to push oneself harder, faster, or further is exactly the opposite of the Somatics approach. Instead, tune yourself into your body's wisdom by adopting a process-oriented versus a goal-oriented mindset. If you can keep these simple guidelines in mind during practice at Somatics, you're sure to have good results. There are dozens of different somatic movement routines to choose from. If you're like most people, you'll find yourself drawn to particular lessons that feel especially well suited to your circumstance or personal preference. You'll probably revisit your favorite lessons over and over. To make it easy for you to find your favorites quickly, each lesson in our video-on-demand library will be numbered. Lessons will also have simple titles based on the areas of the body they target or the bodily conditions they address. I recommend you start with Lesson 1 and advance lesson by lesson through the first several lessons in the order they are presented. Once you feel comfortable with your grasp of the basics, you can experiment with different lessons as you prefer. Each lesson contains video guidance along with clearly narrated instruction. It's only natural with video guidance that you'll want to watch the movements as you follow along. By all means, try this during your initial learning stages. You'll probably notice early on that Somatics isn't particularly exciting to watch. Like the proverbial iceberg, much of what is supposed to happen with Somatics will occur below the surface of obvious movement as a deeply personalized experience. For this reason, I recommend that you wean yourself away from viewing, that you watch less and listen more as you come to rely on just the spoken directions when following along. This approach will prove less distracting and enhance your sensory motor communication for a smarter and freer body. Somatics is very safe, providing you move slowly and mindfully and stay within your personal limits at all times. When practicing, try to explore even familiar movement patterns as if you were discovering their effects on you for the very first time. You can access our on-site wellness article titled Somatics Do's and Don'ts for additional helpful tips on getting the most from your practice. You might also like to acquire a copy of my book, The Sustainable You, Somatics and the Myth of Aging, for a more detailed overview. In any circumstance of undesirable results, discontinue your practice and consult your medical advisor or somatic educator. With these thoughts in mind, find yourself a mat or a padded surface and try to have fun as you empower yourself with this wonderful new resource. Now, let's get you started.